So, Mr. Hassan Piker has managed to get himself into a little bit of a controversy. You see, he bought a new car and people are upset. Now, it's not that he bought a new car. He's actually posted this very interesting video as he is walking towards the $200,000 Porsche vehicle. And I don't know what he is doing, but I assume he is... What is this, chat? What is this? I've never done this, but is it stretching? Like, it's kind of like when you go to the gym and you do the stretches, right? Before, but it's a car, like it's not going to lift it. Now, another interesting thing, which I have to say, caught my attention in this video is like, why did he park it here? See, I couldn't get my driving license. I tried. I really did. I did my best. I guess I didn't do the stretches before entering the vehicle, so next time I will do it. Maybe it's supposed to give you the strength to drive better. But I don't know what this sign on the ground is. I don't know what it represents. It seems to be a person sitting in a chair. Is it like a driver? And he is surrounded by the color blue. Is he depressed? Is he upset? It's a person sitting in a chair and he looks like he's driving. So this is why he parked it there. Again, I don't have a driving license. Maybe this is why I failed. I need to learn the signs a little bit better. But anyway, right. So, people were upset. And I don't really know why people are upset. I mean, the car is not as expensive as the $1 million mansion that he bought or the $1 million studio that he bought with Ethan Klein. The car is just like a drop in the ocean at this point. But we got Shoe on Head, who is saying, it's a house. We live in a society. Okay, it's a Porsche. Socialists are allowed to have cars. A yacht, big deal. Socialism isn't when you do not own things. One private jet, okay. Do you want him to starve? Yeah, so now the conversation is like, what if he would have bought a private jet? Would that be a problem? Now, the reason people find Hassan Piker wealth controversial is due to the fact that he is a socialist. So why aren't socialists allowed to be rich? This is a great question. Why aren't they allowed to be rich? I mean, if you have an ideology which says eat the rich and is against the millionaires and the billionaires, and you yourself are a millionaire, why do you think people laugh at you? It's kind of like a priest that is lecturing individuals of the community to be more pious, and it turns out that the priest is running the local brothel. That's kind of how it is. It's when you're a vegan, but you own 6 slaughterhouses. Right? Like, something doesn't compute. It's more like your ideology isn't meant to change the world, but you're pushing your ideology for different reasons. Like maybe to make money off of suckers, so you can buy expensive stuff. Now, you will see this from a lot of socialists, this following meme, where a peasant, which is carrying sticks, says we should improve society somewhat, and someone coming out of a well because he is well off. Get it? Haha. Yet you participate in society. Curious, I am very intelligent. Now, why don't we have a similar meme showing a black person saying we should abolish slavery, and the slave owner says, I agree. Obviously, the black slave would be completely taken aback and bewildered, and the slave owner would say, what? Just because I want to improve society somewhat doesn't mean I can't partake in it. That would be a more interesting meme, huh? A little bit more spicy. They would probably not show it. Now, imagine if you have a peasant in this scenario, gathering sticks, and he asks the other peasants, hey, if you guys give me your money, I will abolish the monarchy and we will have democracy. So the peasants go and they give every money they have to this one peasant, and he gets all the wealth, and then he marries the princess. And by marrying the princess, he becomes a prince. He becomes royalty. Now he buys a castle. Now he's living off the land. So the peasants are a little bit upset. They're like, hey, you said you're going to abolish the monarchy. What are you doing? And he says, well, just give it time. I'm abolishing it from the inside. Because it's not just living in society somewhat, it's benefiting from all the luxuries of society. Like, no one is saying that Hassan Piker can't have a house. People are saying that, do you really need a $3 million house? It's not a house, it's a mansion. People aren't saying he shouldn't be able to buy a car. People are saying, do you need a $200,000 Porsche? If your ideology is eat the rich, if your ideology is about equity, well, if it's about the equity, why are you driving a Porsche? That is what people are asking. Now, if he was a savvy capitalist and, a staunch businessman with a go-get-em tiger attitude, then yeah, by all means, it's a good thing he bought a car. Good. He should. He worked hard for that car. But when you're a socialist and your whole shtick is that the rich have too much wealth and you buy a Porsche, not to mention, aren't the rich also big fans of environmentalism? Is that Porsche eco-friendly? Does it run on batteries or is it using gas, oil to produce the power required to move that Porsche around? Is it inclusive and equitable to park in the handicap's position? Is it? It would have been a little bit more funny if he parked on the position for eco cars only. I've seen cities that have a place for only cars that don't pollute to be able to park. Right. It's very interesting because this is not just Hassan Piker. It's a common theme among socialists. So I know vegans who choose not to eat meat because they believe it's murder and they don't want to be murderers. It's their ideology. That's what they believe. So they refuse to eat meat, right? Because they're vegans. I know Mormons who believe that people should give some of their earnings to the church. And they do that. They literally do that. They don't advocate for others to do it. No, they do it themselves. In other words, there are many people that live according to their ideology. There's Christians who go to church. They don't tell other people to go. No, they go to church themselves, even though going to church is a little bit of an inconvenience. You have to wake up in the morning. You have to go over there. It's not very fun. They fast. They don't eat meat during fasting time. They do abstinence. Why? Because that's their ideology. They want to live in the way they expect other people to believe. But you look at communists, socialists, you look at environmentalists, they pollute. They don't live in an equitable manner. They don't give away their resources when they have them. They use the ideology as a way to sucker people out of their money. And that's a good thing. I would rather have Hassan Piker buy a mansion and buy a car rather than invest that money into doing activism. Rather than hiring people in order to go protest in front of some oil giant or whatever. I'd rather have Hassan Piker do that, because at least those money are feeding some wealthy people who actually benefit from capitalism, like the Porsche company. So that's why people are upset. It's not with Hassan Piker personally. It's with the socialists and the ideologues. It's the moment they become wealthy, they don't redistribute the wealth as their ideology requires. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.